You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
Right now at 7, it's fireworks season. We're going to see how fireworks stands across the area are preparing for the 4th of July.
Also, our very own Samantha Walker shows us a variation of a traditional game is allowing everyone to get a chance to play.
And it's going to be a hot one. Some clouds out there for now. We got heat advisories across the area, dangerous heat index values as well. We'll have a look at that forecast to get you out the door. Coming up.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. I'm Elise Noe.
And I'm Chris Warner. It's just after 7 a.m. on this Monday morning. I took a couple of days off and everybody in this building is immediately regretting my return, I think. I bring the fun, or, well,
I'm just speechless
something.
as usual.
That's the way it goes. I'm not exactly sure
wave,
what I
boys.
bring, but it's enough to throw everybody off their game.
I didn't even have any caffeine today.
It seems really quiet in here.
It does, doesn't it?
It got really quiet. I think we've scared everyone out of the building. Well, it is fireworks time, and you do want to make sure you're safe, and you also want to make sure you're ready.
Right. And you know, few things are as recognizable around the 4th of July than the bright displays of fireworks in the sky. And a report from Wallet Hub estimates that consumers spent roughly $2.7 billion on fireworks last year.
Okay, that is a lot. Well, KOAM Samantha Walker has more on how fireworks sellers are preparing for that booming business.
I've always grown up going to fireworks shows, or we set them off in our front yard. So it's a good way to get families together.
For people across the country, fireworks are a staple part of Independence Day celebrations. And data from Wallet Hub suggests that in the 4-state area, shoppers are willing to spend for a show. Missourians spend the most out of all Americans on fireworks, with the average sale being more than $20 per person.
No matter where you go in the fireworks, people are excited to come see you. So they go to the grocery store because they have to, right? They have to get groceries. They don't want to spend their money on groceries, but we have to eat. But when they come here, they are excited. This is something they want to do, they love to do.
For sellers like Central City Fireworks, the 2-week span surrounding the 4th of July is always busy, with customers hoping to find the biggest boom for their buck. Sellers say this year is looking promising for sales.
A lot of important factors come into play. We always want it not to rain on the 3rd and 4th. That's always beneficial in the fireworks business. Not having drought conditions. Luckily, we've had a good season this year. We've had a few rains. Everything worked out good there. So I think we're expecting a good turnout.
Presley says sellers like her prepare for months for the holiday, making sure they have all the favorites, from sparklers to mortar shells. She hopes people choose to shop locally as a result of their hard work.
It puts money back into the local economy, back into local people, local business owners. So you're supporting your own community when you shop local.
And nobody realizes that sometimes the local shops like Central City, they have better prices on things, and you can get more for a cheaper price than you can if you go somewhere else.
And for fireworks sellers, they say it's special to see families take part in the tradition of lighting up the sky.
They love fireworks, they love celebrating our freedom, they love America, and everyone that comes here is just happy to be here, and we love it.
Reporting in Joplin, Samantha Walker, KOAM News.
Well, you can learn more about city ordinances on fireworks as well as find community displays on our website. That's KOAMnewsnow.com.
And of course, you want to make sure you're playing it safe out there as well. But it's, sorry, we've had a good morning. Like I said, I've been off for 2 days and I've brought the fun back.
You're making up for it.
Can't keep up. I can't function right now, which is normal for me. Let's just if we focus on what we've got to get done this morning, maybe that'll help.
Yes.
We have some showers out there. Let's start with the Skywatch Storm Tracker. Got to get focused here. There they are in our far northern counties. Unfortunately, for most of us today, that's where they're going to remain through the first half of our day. So just north of Burlington, Garnett, you've got some showers that are just exiting, maybe a few more on the way. Heavier rain up to the north, and that's where that will stay. And this activity will slowly glide to the east through our northern counties as we head into the afternoon. As we mentioned, heat advisory, southeast Kansas through 8 o'clock tomorrow. They're already out that far for southeast Kansas. In Oklahoma, excessive heat warnings and heat advisories out there through 9 this evening. Would not be surprised to see these extended. Would not be surprised to see a few more of them as we head into tomorrow as well. Future Track showing us those showers and thunderstorms, Bates County. That's about it by noon. The rest of us dry, partly cloudy, hot and breezy. Then we could get some pop-up storms along a weak boundary here by this afternoon into the early evening with the daytime heating. Those will clear out. And as we go into the rest of the evening, staying relatively clear. Temperatures, thanks to the clouds and some showers, are a little cooler to the north and east. We're in the low 70s, and we're into the mid to upper 70s, especially into parts of northeast Oklahoma this morning. So a mild start for some of us out there. Again, isolated shower storms, northern counties. Otherwise, partly cloudy. Highs upper 80s, low 90s, but those heat index values 100 to 105, maybe a little higher in some cases. And then some pop-up storm chances for at least a few of us heading into the late afternoon and evening hours. We are unfortunately looking at what could be a soggy 4th of July celebration. We'll break down the details on that in the full forecast here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, awesome, Chris. Thanks. Well, Newton County first responders are alerted to a report of a train striking a car. The incident occurred around 9:20 p.m. Saturday night near Tipton Ford access off of Old Highway 71. Missouri State troopers say the car was struck on the tracks after the driver mistook it for a road. The occupants of the vehicle did exit the car before the train slammed into it. No injuries have been reported. Joplin police officers have arrested a man after engaging in a foot chase Saturday evening. Officers were at York Park performing a pedestrian check when the man fled on foot. The man then stole a bicycle from a female and began riding away. The subject eventually made his way south on New Hampshire Street before an officer caught up and detained him. The man has numerous warrants and could face additional charges. The woman whose bike he stole was located and it was given back to her. 4th of July celebrations are underway across the 4 states, and the Free Will Baptist Church of Carthage hosted a God and Country celebration Sunday to help join in the holiday spirit. The event featured activities for the whole family, including a barbecue and inflatables, and attendees could also have the opportunity to listen to live music from Borderline Bluegrass.
It feels great. This is something that we've looked forward to doing, and it just kind of all came together and fell in place, so it's encouraging to us. We have a lot of fun doing these type of events.
Organizers say they hope to continue holding events similar to the God and Country celebration in the future. When summer hits, there's a few places as popular as a ball field. And in Saturday in Carthage, players of all ages came out to play a competitive game of beep baseball. KOAM's Samantha Walker has more on the sport and how a special field makes it all possible.
This rhythmic beeping is one of the only ways players on the field know a ball is headed their way. The Sirens are an all-woman beep baseball team, also known as Beep Ball Team. The sport is an adaptive version of baseball for those who are blind or visually impaired.
I feel very excited because it gives me an opportunity to actually be on the field and play a fair game with my teammates, being all women.
Cassandra McDaniel was inspired to start the team with her sister in hopes of getting more women on the field.
We did notice when we looked around at all of the different teams that we played, there were a lot of women that were sitting the bench. So she made the comment to me, hey, do you think that we could start an all-female team? And I said, why not?
This beep ball game is the first one being held at the Adaptive Sports Field for the Blind in Carthage, developed by the MLV Foundation. The foundation's president says it's something she has always wanted to do.
It's important for anybody with disabilities to feel like they can be normal like everybody else. And we can still do the things that everybody else does. We just have to adapt and make them a little bit different.
In beep ball, the ball beeps to tell players where it is, and bases buzz to let batters know where to run. And because blindness is on a spectrum, players all wear eye coverings to make it an even playing field.
You just have some adaptations to them, and you can play, and they feel just like they're normal like everybody else.
And for players, they say the opportunity to hit the field with others like them is meaningful.
For me, it feels empowering because I get to learn and see how other people do what I do, and it's important that we all help nourish and teach each other to do new things.
Reporting in Carthage, Samantha Walker, KOAM News.
Organizers plan to continue holding other sporting and recreation activities at the sports field, including beep kickball and blind archery. And those are our top news stories this half hour. Coming up next on the KOAM Morning News, the Buyers Annual Pie Sale starts this week. We'll hear from a few of the organizers on what treats you'll find at this year's sale. And later, a dance studio in New York is teaching middle school boys not only dancing skills, but also building skills. What better way to celebrate the 4th of July this week than with a pie, a big, gorgeous looking pie at that. Kathy Cowley and Debbie Van Winkle from the Buyers United Methodist Church are with us this morning to invite you not only for some pie, but to help out the community. Welcome to you both. Thank you so much for being with us this morning. So this is your annual pie sale for the 4th of July. Can you talk to me a little bit about, the development of this pie sale and just what people can expect when they, come to pick up a pie?
Well, we started this probably almost 30 years ago.
Oh, wow.
One of our pastors at that point, Steve, said, okay, if anyone wants $10, I'll give you the $10
Yes.
and go develop your talent. He did the sermon about the talent.
Okay, yes.
So we were crazy and we said, I'll take $10. She took $10. The little sister, Carol, took $10 and we did our first pie sale.
Oh, wow.
And so away it went from there and has grown bigger. We usually do anywhere from 800 to 1,200 pies
Oh my goodness.
a year.
A year.
Over 4th of July
wow.
holiday. That's the only time we do it. People go, oh, you do it for Christmas, Thanksgiving? No. 4th of July is the only time.
Oh my, that's absolutely incredible. So many, hundreds of pies. Wow.
All fresh.
All fresh.
Homemade.
From the bottom up.
The lemons are squeezed. The crust is made.
Homemade.
Homemade.
Oh my gosh.
The apples are peeled. Cherry
Oh my
filling
gosh.
is really cooked. It's
Yes,
not,
well,
it's not a can.
Talk to me about some of the pies that people can pick up this year. And just, you have 10-inch pies, you have mini pies that people
do.
can pick up.
Yes.
Talk to me a little bit about what's available for people.
Okay, coconut meringue, butterscotch meringue, banana meringue, lemon meringue, and those meringue pies. If you don't like meringue, we can whip cream them with homemade whipped cream. We have cherry and apple. We have frozen or baked.
Okay.
So you can take a frozen pie and save it for Thanksgiving and cook it.
Just on cherry and apple.
Just on cherry and apple.
Yes.
Okay.
Because anything else that
Right.
wouldn't work.
Absolutely. And then
And all these are the little pies as well. There's peanut butter, there's French silk, there's chocolate cream.
Did you say pumpkin
there's
and
pumpkin, pecan.
And sugar-free. We also
just
have some.
anything you can
some
think of.
sugar-free.
We have
in
a
a pie.
small
And
assortment.
peanut butter. Peanut butter is really good.
Oh, I bet you that is. And so these are 10-inch pies and mini pies. Can you talk to me about the pricing and then also where people can go to order these pies?
Yes, we have 10-inch pie, or the little pies, like a chicken pot pie. Those are $10, and then we have this regular 10-inch pie, and that's $20. And you go to our website, buyersavumc.org, and you can order your pie for the
4th and 5th now.
4th and 5th.
Yeah.
So you do have to order. You can't walk
Right.
in and just get a pie.
There'll be no
because
pies.
And the ordering form is pretty simple online.
is.
I went to go see it. And then when, where
also
and
call
when?
the church.
You can also call the church as well. And then where's the location of the pickup?
It's 18th and Buyers.
In Joplin.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty, well again, this looks absolutely amazing and you want to go make sure you get
Enjoy.
yourself one. Thank you both for being with us
you.
this morning.
Thank you.
To order your pie, you can fill out the form at buyerssaveumc.org/pie or call 417-529-1977.
That's not the right phone number.
Oh, we will put that correct one on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com, and we'll be right back after this.
Thanks.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. Coming up on 7:19 now on this Monday morning. We're starting the Skywatch Storm Tracker. We've got a few of these showers and some heavier rain up in our far northern counties. So Burlington, just outside of Garnett for now, but we'll still continue to see this activity slowly drift to the east. And it's very slowly drifting to the east, but it eventually will make its way onto the Missouri side and eventually make its way out of here. And unfortunately, the majority of us will not see much from this activity out there. However, we could see some pop-up storms. So first, there's the last of this by noon, starting to roll through Bates County, and then we'll be done with that. However, by later this afternoon into the early evening hours, could see some pop-up storms along a weak boundary out there. Again, the majority of us just dry, hot, and partly cloudy. Clear skies overnight. Tuesday, we can just breeze right through because it's going to be windy. First off, south winds gusting to 25, but it's also going to be hot and sunny. Maybe a cloud here or there. Otherwise, look at these temperatures into the upper 90s, pushing our heat index values into the 105, maybe even 110 range. Now, overnight Tuesday into Wednesday, scattered showers and thunderstorms begin to work their way in. So initially, some of these storms overnight could be strong, low-grade severe, with wind and hail being the primary concern. And then that severe threat, it's a low one, but it will migrate a little further south as the boundary sinks a little further south. Not everyone will see rain on Wednesday, but at least we've got some scattered shower and thunderstorm activity out there. And it won't be until later in the day that the boundary itself will trigger some thunderstorms across I-44, maybe just a wee bit to the south of that. Then as we go into our 4th of July, that's where, at least right now, we have some bad news, unfortunately. We are looking at rain at the most inopportune times. First in the morning, which is not that big of a deal, but for the morning of the 4th, we could see a few isolated showers and storms out there. The rest of our 4th of July is hot and dry with some clouds here and there. It won't be until it's about time to set off fireworks and we see more thunderstorms begin to develop and roll into the area. So after 7, here's these thunderstorms. Now, the other side of this, though, is this point, it's still early, but we do have a good portion of the area highlighted for the potential for severe thunderstorms Thursday as well. So there's a lot to keep an eye on. Don't cancel your plans just yet, but do keep in mind that we may be dealing with thunderstorms right at the worst possible time. Today, again, pop-up storms possible, nothing severe. Overnight tomorrow, we have that low risk for some strong severe storms, and same on Wednesday across the area. Our UV index today is at a 9, which is still very high. Burn time's about 15 minutes, so make sure you're taking precautions. And a heads up for tomorrow, the forecast UV index is at an 11, which is that extreme. Heat advisories in Kansas through 8 o'clock tomorrow evening. Excessive heat warnings and heat advisories in Oklahoma through 9 this evening. And again, wouldn't be surprised to see more of those. Our heat risk for today lining up with those current advisories and warnings out there. But as we head into our Tuesday, we see major overspreading the area, and that continues into Wednesday as well. Quick look at temperatures. We are looking at 73 in Joplin, mostly cloudy skies, east-southeast breeze at 8. And around the region, again, a little cooler to the northwest, temperatures low 70s, and down to the southwest, mid-upper 70s. As we go through the morning, partly cloudy skies. Again, a few showers in our northern counties, low 80s by 11 o'clock this morning. Highs today, upper 80s, low 90s, winds gusting out of the southwest to 20. Heat index values 100 to 105, heating up tomorrow and Wednesday, and maybe some additional storms next Sunday and Tuesday. That's Check Your Forecast. We're back with more right after this. A ballet company in New York City is teaching middle school boys how to build and dance at the same time.
Fox News' Richard Giacova shares how ballet is going techno.
Most middle school boys love playing with Legos, and building a Lego robot? Well, that's just cool. But what about a robot that danced to the beat of the music, and behind it, its creators?
At first, I thought it would be very scary, but now I feel very comfortable in front of the robot, seeing that I made the robot. So, overall, it feels very exciting.
The New York Theater Ballet has put in motion more than just ballet over the past 2 weeks. This is a dance technology program, a first of its kind, aptly titled Robotics in Motion, which pairs building and choreography together, specifically for middle school boys.
The arts and dance in particular is not that different from what they do in their day-to-day life at school, and also showing that this is an accessible entry point to ballet and to the art forms in general.
The 8 boys who are part of this program are from the George Jackson Academy, a school that's right down the block from where rehearsals are held, here at St. Mark's Church in the East Village. Organizers say with so many public schools cutting arts programs, a free program like this offers these kids something unlike anything else out there.
They're learning how to build it, but that part kids are generally really good at, but they're learning how to code or how to program. And that's a really important, lifelong skill.
The goal is for the New York Theater Ballet to offer this program again at some point. Its artistic director says funding is what he needs.
We found a couple of rising stars here, so I hope they stick with it. And luckily, because this entire program is happening hyper-local to the East Village neighborhood, there's an actual opportunity for them to continue on after this.
For the kids, well, they're feeling more empowered than ever, realizing now they can do whatever they put their minds and their bodies to.
They gave us the basics of ballet and a little bit of breakdancing.
I'm a horrible dancer, so I think if I could learn how to dance, someone out there can definitely can.
Simply interesting.
It really is. It's a pretty cool program. You get a little bit of that left brain and right brain action going on. So.
That's important. You've got to keep your mind active, and it's great to keep both sides active and in a productive way as well.
Certainly. Well, coming up, NASA is working on a plan to bring back 2 astronauts from the International Space Station.
And we've got another hot one across the area and maybe some pop-up storms. While I'm there, look at your forecast. We'll come back.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. It's currently 7:30. I'm Elise Noe. First responders rush a person to the hospital after an explosion took place in McDonald County. The incident happened around 10:30 Saturday morning. McDonald County deputies responded to a residence where a possible suicidal subject was claimed to be. Deputies spoke with the individual in an attempt to have them exit the house when what has been described as a large explosion took place. First responders were able to gain access and remove the victim from the building. The victim was transported via helicopter to a hospital. A McDonald County deputy was also treated and later discharged. Well, Fort Scott residents, Broadway Avenue between 5th and 6th is closed until further notice. The city citing this closure is because of a developing sinkhole due to collapsed storm drain. All traffic is being diverted and motorists are advised to seek alternate routes. Residents living within the block will still have access to their homes, and you're asked to make your entry via 6th Street. The Fort Scott city manager released a statement saying, quote, "We will continue to update citizens on our findings. Thank you and sorry for the inconvenience in advance," end quote. It was a very hot day in Neosho on Saturday as residents celebrate the city. The Celebrate Neosho Festival hosted a wide variety of events and attractions, from a cornhole tournament to a watermelon seed spitting contest. Residents could also cool off by using the on-water slides.
We just have a square full of fun and excitement for everyone to join in on. It's really exciting just seeing them run and play and just taking part in all of the things that we've been able to bring out here today is really exciting for everyone.
The night ended with a fireworks show. Now here's Chris with a look at the forecast.
Yeah, we've got another hot one across the air. Our high temperatures today still hot, but a little deceiving. They're a little lower, but it is still going to be muggy. Starting with the Skywatch Storm Tracker, we've got this batch of showers, a couple of thunderstorms out there in our far northern counties, and unfortunately for most of the day, that's where that's going to remain confined as it continues to slowly roll off to the east out there. We do have heat advisories for most of southeast Kansas through 8 o'clock tomorrow evening, and then excessive heat warnings and heat advisories in Oklahoma through 9 this evening. And I wouldn't be surprised to see more of these across the area as we head through the next couple of days. Future track showing the last of that activity rolling out of Bates County by this afternoon. And then a weak boundary could trigger some pop-up showers and storms by this afternoon, early evening across parts of the area. We're otherwise partly cloudy, hot, and breezy as well. Southwest winds gusting upwards of about 20 miles an hour. Temperatures northwest, where we've got some cloud cover out there, and we've been dealing with that. We've got a little cooler, low 70s. But off to the southwest, even with some cloud cover, still just a little warmer, mid-upper 70s down into northeastern Oklahoma. Today, again, a few showers in our northern counties, otherwise partly cloudy through the day. Then we've got those pop-up storm chances. Highs upper 80s, low 90s. Heat index values 100 to 105. It's going to get even hotter tomorrow and as we head into the 4th. Unfortunately, rain chances increasing as we head into the 4th as well. We'll have details on the full forecast here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, thanks, Chris. Well, the return to Earth of Boeing's Starliner capsule is on indefinite hold, but NASA insists the 2 astronauts aboard the ISS are not stranded in space. Fox News correspondent Madison Scarpino has the story.
This is the Boeing Starliner's first test flight with astronauts on board. Its return back to Earth has now been delayed several times. The mission began on June 5th and was only supposed to last about a week. NASA says it's still sorting out problems with the spacecraft's thrusters and some small helium leaks. But NASA is stressing that the 2 astronauts, retired Navy captains Sonny Williams and Butch Wilmore, are in no serious danger. Jose Hernandez spent 14 days at the ISS in 2009. He says time went by way too fast, and issues with new spacecrafts are not uncommon. He says the astronauts are staying busy at the International Space Station and likely enjoying the extra time in space.
If Mission Control Houston called me up and said, hey, you got to stay another week, maybe 2 weeks, man, I'll be doing my space happy dance, because I said, yes, we're going to be spending more time, more revolutions around the world, more hours in space. That's so cool.
Engineers are using the extended time to study the Starliner's issues so they can prevent future problems in space. NASA says that overall, the Starliner is doing well in orbit, so if there is an emergency, the spacecraft can return to Earth. Here's an update from NASA Friday.
I want to make it very clear that Butch and Sonny are not stranded in space. Our plan is to continue to return them on Starliner and return them home at the right time. We'll have a little bit more work to do to get there for the final return, but they're safe on space station.
NASA originally said that the Starliner can stay at the ISS for 45 days, which would mean a late July return. But after testing, NASA says that time window can be extended. In Atlanta, Madison Scarpino, Fox News.
And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. There have been pen pals for over 50 years. Now they finally get to meet. We'll have the details on their special day. In Consumer Watch this morning, looking for a first-time home in a tight availability market, a Realtor.com report says buying a foreclosed property can be the right move to get your first home if you're prepared well. Buying a foreclosed home may seem like a good deal, but one home selling firm warns buyers have to have time and resources to deal with repairs and complicated purchases. Potential buyers should find real estate agent help and consider renovating housing loans and have inspections beforehand. Well, John Deere is laying off more than 600 of its staff in their Illinois and Iowa factories by the end of the summer. The world's largest seller of crop harvesters and tractors is also moving its facility to Mexico by the end of 2026. John Deere saying the rising operational costs and declining market demand is forcing them to make changes. More than 1/3 of Americans say they are going into debt in order to pay for their summer vacation. And around a quarter say they plan to use a credit card to pay for the trip over the course of multiple billing cycles, according to a Bankrate report. To avoid excessive debt, experts advise people to create a budget for their trip. And they also say setting aside money from each paycheck, using frequent flyer miles from credit card rewards programs, and visiting locations in the off season can help you from breaking the bank. Well, much of the nation is getting ready to celebrate the 4th of July this week as Americans prepare. Medical and fire experts are also urging them to take precautions around fireworks. Fox News correspondent CB Cotton has the story.
As we gear up for 4th of July celebrations, medical experts and fire officials are urging some precautions. Every year, fireworks lead to thousands of people getting hurt, almost half of them children.
About 38% of the people that have addressed their issues in a hospital have had fingers or hands issues with hands, whether it's getting blown off or partway blown off.
According to data from the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission, last year 8 people died from firework-related injuries. Overall, nearly 10,000 were hurt, about 700 of those injuries coming from sparklers, which are often falsely believed to be safe for kids.
It doesn't take much to catch the clothing on fire. Or if I put that up the skin, we're second, third-degree burns immediately.
So how do you stay safe? Experts say it's best to leave the flashy light displays to the professionals. But if you do decide to handle fireworks, be smart about it. Check with your local fire and police departments on what is legal in your area. Keep a fire extinguisher and bucket of water close by. Be sure to ignite fireworks in an open area and never anywhere near dry leaves or trees.
The most important thing is to have the person who's doing the fireworks be the sober person for the evening.
And if you use sparklers, consider what you're wearing.
You want to wear tight clothing, not loose-fitting clothing around a fire source that can then expand to burn anywhere on the body.
These same tips apply to fire pits and grills, which can also be dangerous if left unattended. In New York, CB Cotton, Fox News.
And those are our top consumer stories this morning. Now let's take a look at the market prices before the opening bell.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. It's 7:44, coming up on 7:45 now on this Monday morning. And the Skywatch Storm Tracker still showing those showers out there getting into Burlington. Garnett, you're drying out for the moment, but there's more out there. Lightning, the actual thunderstorm activity so far, staying off to the north, and it's now rolling into the Missouri side. So Butler getting in on the action. Of course, that includes parts of I-49 up there in Bates County. And that's where this activity is going to remain for the most part, is into our northern counties. We've seen a few stray showers south of that, but nothing significant out there. Future track showing the last of that activity by noon rolling through Bates County before it exits. Then we have a weak boundary that could trigger a few pop-up showers and storms out there for some of us. Otherwise, we are partly cloudy, hot, and breezy. South-southwest winds gusting upwards of 20 miles an hour out there. And our highs today going to upper 80s and low 90s. It's the heat index values we got to watch. Now, tomorrow is going to be sunny, hot, breezy. South winds gusting again upwards of 20 to 25 miles an hour. And our temperatures, take a look at these, going into the upper 90s, Bartlesville, maybe even into the lower 100s. And that's putting our heat index values in that 105, potentially to 110 range out there. So do be aware of that. Now, by tomorrow night, we have a system coming in. That's going to bring scattered showers and thunderstorms out there. Now, overnight, some of those storms could be strong, low-grade severe, with hail and wind being the primary concern. And as we go beyond that, we have that boundary out there. Storms, for the most part, are still scattered. So not rain all day everywhere, but some of us will continue to see scattered showers and storms through the morning and into the afternoon. It won't be until the evening that the boundary itself will trigger some showers and storms. So that's going to be the other side, is it's still going to be hot because it's not going to be raining all day. And therefore, that will allow temperatures to climb once again out there. And then, unfortunately, as we head into the 4th of July, wish I had better news, and we'll still keep a very close eye on it, but we are looking at rain right about the time to set off fireworks, which is not pleasant for anybody. We'll have those thunderstorms potentially continuing as scattered storms into the morning on Thursday. Then we clear out. Some clouds still very hot, upper 90s, maybe even some low 100s for the 4th of July. And then by about 7 o'clock, we have another boundary coming in that's going to set off more showers and thunderstorms, and these are going to become more widespread is the expectation as we go into the evening hours across the area. So again, don't cancel your plans yet, but just be prepared for that possibility of storms. On top of that, still kind of early, but we already have an area highlighted just right about here in our immediate viewing area for the potential for more severe weather as we head into the evening hours on the 4th. So a lot to keep an eye on. So over today and into the next couple of days, just those pop-up storm chances out there. That low risk tomorrow night. And then it spreads a little further south and east across the area on Wednesday for some strong to low-grade severe storms. Quick reminder, again, our UV index today is a 9. That puts it very high. Burn time's about 15 minutes for unprotected skin. Heat advisories in Kansas until 8 tomorrow evening. Excessive heat warnings and heat advisories in Oklahoma through 9 tonight. Again, our highs today into the upper 80s, low 90s. Heat index values 100 to 105. Then we get into that 105, maybe 110 range Tuesday and Wednesday. Still pretty hot on Thursday in between those storm chances, and then we'll have additional thunderstorm chances next Sunday and Tuesday. That's a check of your forecast. We're back with more right after this.
Well, a Wisconsin woman and her Australian pen pal of more than 50 years finally met face to face. The latter serving as the former's matron of honor.
Fox's Stephanie Quirk has more on the special encounter.
On this couple's wedding day, there's a lot to celebrate. Judy Milik is starting a new chapter of life with her husband, Mike, and she's tying the knot alongside someone who's been by her side throughout her whole life journey.
We communicated, our major stepping stones, children, births, of course, marriages.
Only that someone lives thousands of miles away.
I call her my soul sister.
It's Carol Canny. Canny is from Australia.
Back when I was in the 4th grade, I signed up for a pen pal through their weekly readers in school.
For more than half a century, the pair has been writing to one another.
But a total of 50 that we've known each other and had never met.
That is until this week.
It's like we finally got to see each other face to face. I cried. Yeah, it was very emotional. Very.
Canny flew in from Australia to be the maid of honor in Milik's wedding Saturday.
I mean, it's obvious that, life takes leaps and bounds, and I had been through a few.
Milik says her late husband passed away in 2018.
And Carol had been there to support me through all of that.
So it was only fitting that Canny could support Milik on her big day.
I'm very blessed to have been asked to be Judy's matron of honor. So
it's a friendship that shows love has no bounds and no distance.
Now, their advice for anyone who has a pen pal, whether it be in the U.S. or across the world, is to keep writing because you never know, you may meet your best friend someday.
Certainly an incredible story, and I'm sure something that they'll remember for the rest of their lives.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And 50 years of writing letters to each other. Absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
And we do have those rain chances. I know we just talked about them, but we're going to recap them real quick. So by this afternoon and into the evening, future track showing the possibility of some pop-up storms along a weak boundary out there. Otherwise, the rest of us partly cloudy, hot and dry. We'll be hot and sunny tomorrow. Our highs tomorrow going into the upper 90s, maybe even some low 100s. It won't be until tomorrow overnight, and we'll start to see some scattered showers and thunderstorms across the area, some of which could be strong to low-grade severe, and that threat for some strong storms will push a little further south and east through the day on Wednesday. Now, because these storms are going to be scattered, we're going to have an opportunity to get hot behind all of that, and especially where the storms are going to be missing out. We'll have some thunderstorms firing up along that boundary by Wednesday evening, and a quick reminder, we do have that possibility as we head into Thursday evening across the area when it's time to set off the fireworks of more strong, potentially severe thunderstorms out there. So a lot to keep an eye on over the next few days. We'll be back with more right after this.
Well, here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. McDonald County first responders rush a person to the hospital after an explosion Saturday morning. County deputies were in talks with a possible suicide subject when the explosion happened. First responders were able to gain access and remove the victim from the building. The victim was transported via helicopter to a hospital, and the McDonald County deputy was also treated at the hospital. He has since been discharged. Newton County first responders were alerted to a report of a train striking a car Saturday evening. The incident occurred near Tipton Ford access off of Old Highway 71. Missouri State Troopers say the car was struck on the tracks after the driver mistook it for a road. The occupants of the vehicle did exit the car before the train slammed into it.
And it's going to be a hot one today, upper 80s, low 90s, heat index values 100 to 105. Partly cloudy skies, and then again an opportunity for at least an isolated pop-up shower or storm for some of us by this afternoon into the evening. Skies clear overnight. We fall back into the mid to upper 70s. I wish it was low 70s. Even hotter tomorrow, Wednesday as well, into the upper 90s. Heat index values approaching 110. Scattered storms throughout the day Wednesday, and unfortunately on the 4th we are looking at thunderstorms thunderstorm chances in the morning and then again in the evening, as we do see the possibility of those storms right around its time to set off fireworks. Additionally, we have the threat for some stronger storms on Wednesday and a severe threat possible Thursday evening as well. So a lot to keep an eye on.
Absolutely. Well, giant panda Zheng Ka has captivated the internet with her intriguing back-scratching routine that combines flexibility and unexpected elegance. The 24-year-old panda is seen swaying from side to side with her paws raised high as she scratches her back against a wooden surface.
Experts believe pandas may scratch themselves against objects to really, experts, we need experts to tell this, mark their territory or simply because it feels good. Born around 2000 in the wild, Zheng Ka was rescued from a national nature reserve in 2001. I could have told you that. We scratch our backs the same way.
You do.
Well, thank you so much for letting us put the good in your morning and share some pandas with you. We're back today at noon.
Have a great morning.